Hi! Welcome to another Sci Amazing video. Our topic for today is about visual representation of motion through tape charts and dot diagrams. Motion. Motion is a continuous change in position of an object with respect to a reference point for a particular time interval. So, motion can be demonstrated by the means of diagrams and graphs. So diagrams, these are visual representations that use pictures or symbols to illustrate and explain an idea or information. For example, we have here a tree as our reference point and a man. This man is actually in motion because it started from the reference point, which is the tree, at 0 meter per second or 0 second, and then it moves to 3 meters per second, 5 meters per second, 4 meters per second, and then 2 meter per second. So using the ticker tape diagram, we are going to use this dot diagram. So the trail of dots is a representation of the object's motion. The distance between the dots represents the speed of the object at a certain time interval. Let's say we have dot diagram A. So in the dot diagram A, we can say a large distance between the dots means the object was moving fast during a time interval. In Tagalog, kapag yung espasyo sa pagitan ng dalawang dots ay magkakalayo sa isa't isa, ibig sabihin gumagalaw ng mabilis ang ating object. In the dot diagram B, we can observe that there is a small distance between the dots, meaning the object was moving slow during a time interval. In Tagalog, kapag magkakalapit yung distansya ng bawat dots sa isa't isa, ibig sabihin ang speed ng ating object ay bumabagal or nagbo-move slow in a particular time interval. So, if in this case, that diagram A and that diagram B, you can see that the distance of the dots are constant or not changing, hindi nagbabago. Pare-parehas yung measurement ng distansya ng bawat dots. Ibig sabihin lang po nito, equal distance means constant speed, meaning no acceleration. Kapag walang acceleration, ibig sabihin, hindi gumagalaw yung ating object. Yung speed niya ay constant lamang. Okay, so let's describe the speed of the object. So as what you can see on the dots, the spaces between the dots, we can say that the speed of the object is increasing since the distance between the dots is getting larger. So kung mapapansin natin, from here to here, the distance between the dots is getting larger and larger. So when the distance is getting larger, meaning the speed of the object is increasing. Bumibilis ang ating object, ayan, by means of the dots, the representation of the dots. Another diagram, let's describe the speed of the object. Very good. The speed of the object is decreasing since the distance between the dots is getting smaller. In Tagalog, kapag yung mga dots ay magkakadikit na sa isa't isa, malapit na sa isa't isa, ibig sabihin, yung speed ng ating object ay bumabagal. Based on the given dot diagram, is the object accelerating? When you say positive acceleration, the object is increasing its speed. So the answer is we have very good. The answer is we have the object is accelerating because the distance between the dots is being observed. So there is a change in terms of the distance between the dots. There is a change in terms of the speed of our object. So let's have this dot diagram. Is the object accelerating or decelerating? Yes, the object here is accelerating because based on our explanation that when the distance between the dots is changing and getting larger, meaning the object is accelerating, the speed or the velocity of the object is accelerating or increasing. Next, is the object accelerating or decelerating? Yes, it is decelerating. Decelerating because we can observe that the distance between the dots on the last part is changing. It's getting smaller and smaller, meaning the speed of the object or the velocity of the object is decreasing. That's why it's decelerating. Next one, we have the visual representation of motion by means of motion graphs. So, motion graphs, this is a visual representation that uses lines to show how two or more sets of measurements are related to each other. So in the dot diagram, we are using dots to represent the movement of our object. In the motion graphs, we are going to use lines to compare the sets of measurements. So in the motion graphs, you'll encounter the y-axis and the x-axis. Remember that y-axis is vertical and the x-axis is the horizontal. Next, let's say for example, we have here the motion of the ball. So given the table for the ball, we have the time in its position. The time is measured in seconds and the position of the ball is measured in meters. So the time, 0 second, the position of the ball is 0. Meaning, the ball is at rest, not moving, hindi gumagalaw. 5 seconds, the position of the ball is now 5 meters. 10 seconds, the position of the ball is now 10 meters. 15 seconds, the position of the ball is now 15 meters. So let's try to put this one in the graph form. So the position of the ball will be in our y-axis and the time of our ball will be in the x-axis. So let's start with the time 0 and the position of the ball, which is 0. So we have here in our graph the 0 point. So this will intersect in this section. Okay, so we will put the dot there. Next, we have 5 seconds and 5 meters. So we have here 5. Okay, so let's put it there. Next, we have 10 and we have 15. So to avoid confusion, we can put here this one. There. For you to measure the 10 seconds and the 10 meters, you can use these dotting lines for you to be guided on where these two sets of measurement will intersect. Okay? So, there. So, for the question, what is the position of the ball at 10 seconds? So, at 10 seconds, we can say that the position of the ball is 10 meters. Next, if you are given a distance on the y-axis and time on the x-axis, that will be called as distance time graph. If you are given like this one, this will be called as displacement time graph. Also, the slope in the graph gives us an idea about the motion of an object, whether the object is moving slow or the object is moving fast. So we have series of examples of graphs here. If you encounter a straight line going upward, it means there is a constant or uniform velocity. When you say constant, constant means hindi nagbabago. Okay? Zero acceleration. Next, if you have encountered a straight line, like this one, napahiga, meaning the object is at rest, zero velocity. meaning hindi gumagalaw yung object. Let's say for example, we have here 0 seconds and we have 0 meter per second. That is 0, meaning the object is not moving, the object is at rest, hindi po siya gumagalaw. What if the graph is like this? We can say that there is non-constant velocity or there is a changing in terms of the velocity and therefore we have accelerated motion. Again, magkakaroon lang tayo ng acceleration kapag nagbabago ang speed or velocity ng isang object. Another thing is we have the acceleration. So for us to have acceleration, the velocity is in the y-axis and the time is in the x-axis. So here are the graphs that you will encounter for acceleration. In the first graph, if you encounter a straight line pointing upward, it means there is a constant or uniform acceleration. There is a changing velocity. If you encounter a straight line which is pahiga, meaning zero acceleration, constant velocity. Next, if you encounter this one, like a C-like figure, meaning non-constant acceleration, and there is an increasing acceleration. The last one, if you encounter the straight line which is going downward, meaning the object is decelerating. When the object is decelerating, meaning the speed of the object or the velocity of the object is decreasing, it's moving slow. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've learned something. Comment down below if you're done watching this video and then please take the quiz given. Bye!